Hello everyone, welcome to Naomi's Bookshelf. Today we're going to go on to my next weekly reading vlog. So as you might have noticed from last week's, I was camping and I'm going to start this vlog back off with camping, and I will tell you quickly right here that I'm reading Jane Austen books. I'm also reading some other goodies, but I am mostly going to focus on the Murder of Mr Wickham since I have started that as of camping, which you'll see in the next little bit. But also I'm going to be reading Pride and Prejudice, and I'm listening to a nonfiction audiobook which is called The Vikings, and it's a great course book. So those are my three top priorities right now, and I am enjoying the Murder of Mr Wickham, and I'm somewhat liking The Vikings, not 100%. So I'm going to be working on those this week, and then we will see what comes up. I'm going to work on Narnia, and I have a to-do list of books I'd like to get to. So I'm going to see what I can get through. It's more like a how much can I get done in the last week, since this is my last vlog for July, and I'm hoping to fit as much as I can in the last 7 days. So I'm hoping to end with a bang and get this all done. So let's get back into camping.
In a house that I don't know, I want to leave, no place to go. You walk in with someone new. I can't believe that this is true.
So it is Tuesday night. I had edited my vlog earlier tonight and I had to watch it all the way through. So it's gone up. It's short because I didn't do much reading, and I also went camping. I didn't vlog much of that either because, you know, privacy. But I did read something this morning, which I'm going to share with you. So I read a Jane Austen book. I read Who Was Jane Austen? Now this one is by, I'd have to check the author's name. This one's by Sarah Fabini, right there. This is a really cool series that I found when I was trying to figure out more information about Dr. Seuss, matter of fact. I found a book called Who Was Dr. Seuss? And then I kind of went down this rabbit hole of nonfiction for middle grades. And one of these books is this. It's called the Who Was series. They also have the Who Is, so people who are still alive. And then I think there is like What Was, so also like people or groups or whatever. So it's a really interesting series about the past. So I picked this one up from my library, and I'm really glad I did. It was like 100 pages, and it's really interesting to have a middle grade nonfiction about Jane Austen. It has illustrations all the way through. So I'm gonna try to show you one. This is when Jane Austen was proposed to, and so just different ones. They have illustrations all the way through, and it's like done in 10 chapters. So I really enjoyed it. I am giving it 4 stars. I think it's really well done for middle grade, and it handles the material well. I also think that it is really interesting in how it talks about the Regency era and how it explains certain things like why it's called the Georgian era and how women were not able to have the independence and freedom that they do now. So it handles a lot of those kinds of things for middle graders and also people who just don't know much about that time period in history. So I highly recommend this series. I think it's something that is definitely worth picking up, if I can say that. I also am really interested to read more of these books. So I have my eye on the Who Was Charles Dickens book for Victober. I think I'll be checking that one out. Just different ones like that as a little, you know, information, like little tidbits. And then at the back, they also have, in this one, they had a list of adaptations you could watch, as well as her works and the timeline. So on the screen, there was a bunch of movies you could watch and different things. So if you were interested, you could check them out. The timeline of her life compared to the timeline of the world. And it did talk about the French Revolution and different things like that and how that impacted her. It talked about the works of Jane Austen and then the bibliography of how they got their facts. So very interesting. And I actually really liked that one of the things or one of the books that they got their information from, was The Real Jane Austen, A Life in Small Things by Paula Byrne. And I have read that and really enjoyed that biography. So I highly recommend that one too. But I think this is a great nonfiction, especially for Jane Austen July, and highly recommend this one. So Who Was Jane Austen? It's a great one and a great series to read if you're looking for something for a middle grader that's nonfiction and it's really approachable, or if you're looking into learning something about something you've never heard of before and it's something in the series, highly recommend. I learned a lot about Dr. Seuss that way. So I think this is a really great series, and I am excited to read more from it in the future. So this is that. I also was reading earlier today, I listened to more of The Murder of Mr. Wickham. I kind of found where I was in the audiobook and turned that on. So Mr. Wickham has officially died. Where I'm at like 110 pages in, and it is getting good. I am really enjoying it, and I think it's a really interesting mystery, and I like the development of it. I think it's really fascinating, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying the Agatha Christie style of it. I haven't started really investigating yet. So the two people who are investigating are Jonathan Darcy and Juliet Tilney. They are very clearly innocent, and I am intrigued to see how they investigate going forward, but because we haven't started that part yet, I'm intrigued. But then also I have officially DNF'd the Vikings Great Courses book or audio lectures, because honestly the lecturer, whatever, the professor, whoever he was, he spent a lot of the time at the beginning of each like half-hour lecture, so they're only a half hour, 30 minutes. He spent the good chunk, like 30 minutes or 4 minutes, whatever, talking about like, in this lecture we're going to talk about this and this and this and this and this, and I'm like, just tell me those things instead of talking about what you're going to tell me. And then he was very like overly detailed to the point where I'm like, I was bored, and I was just like, this is not the lecturer for me. I was very interested in the Vikings, but not from him. So I'm officially DNF'd it. I'm not wasting my time. So I'm going to be putting my listening ears into better books, or better things that I'm intrigued by. So I am going to focus on Pride and Prejudice, The Murder of Mr. Wickham, and then I might just physically read that. We'll see. I do have other physical books I need to read this week, being My Friend Anna. I found out this one is due back on Thursday, so I need to read this one. I have 200 pages left. I'm getting along, so I'm going to read it tonight and tomorrow. Try to return tomorrow when I go pick up a hold. So that's my plan. And then I will be hopefully finish this one. This one is really interesting, but I need to actually read it. So I'm going to sit down and read it tonight and tomorrow my lunch break. But those are my plans for my physical reading. I'm going to try and listen to Pride and Prejudice after I'm done reading and going to sleep. And then also The Murder of Mr. Wickham. I want to pay attention to that. And Pride and Prejudice I can listen to in my sleep because I know it so well. So I don't really need to pay attention. But I am excited with all the reading I have done so far. So I'm excited for the books I have made progress in and the books I will be making progress in for the rest of the week. I have a very big, like 8-book TBR planned, but I'm not going to list them all in case I don't get to them. As of last week's lesson, I have learned, or I have learned from last week's lesson, I should say, in proper English. So we'll see what we get to, but I will definitely be reading My Friend Anna tonight and working on this one and listening to Pride and Prejudice because that's a dream. I always love Pride and Prejudice. So I will check in later. Hi everyone, it is Wednesday night, about 10 o'clock. I am honestly feeling really stressed. Nothing related to reading and, well, maybe a little bit to reading, I'll explain in a second, but mostly just work environment, and I'm in struggle. So I am just like, I don't know if I'm gonna break down this, but I'm gonna try not to. It's just kind of like overwhelming me right now, and today's been a bit of a day. So the kids are great, but that's just saying. Anyways, so I went to the library and I wanted to show you what I got because, well, first and foremost, I did not return My Friend Anna. I am not anywhere near. I only got 4.5 hours of sleep last night and I was too tired of my break to read anymore. I'm on chapter 4 still. But I do want to finish this. It's due back tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna, it's not like I'm gonna get a late fee, but 5 people want it. So I might just return it and let other people have a chance and I'll get back on the wait list. I think I might just do that if the stress is like mentally exhausting me. Anyways, I'm sorry, it is so hot. It was like 40 degrees today or something, like 38. I'm just, I can't stop sweating. Anyways, I did pick up some books and some things for Fastathon, which is happening in the end of August, like the last 2 weeks of August. We're doing a Fastathon. It's gonna be lots of fun. So I picked up a couple things that I will be reading. So I'm definitely reading Rosemary's Baby. I'm gonna do a TBR video. I need to still film that, which is an extra stressor on my part because of my filming schedule. But I did pick up Goethe's, I hope that's pronounced right, Faust, which is, this version has the translated and the, like, so it has the German and the English in it. So it has, like, here, for example, it has, this is the German and then this is the English. So book is like way bigger than it is. It's like almost 500 pages, but I think it's like more like 200 pages because it also has an introduction like in the beginning. So I'm excited to read this, and I'm excited to read along with Marlowe's play, which I have on audio. I got the BBC version because Christy Lewis could not stop talking about. Christy was so excited, so I was like, I've got to listen to this one. And I am very excited to read this one along with that. Then I also picked up from the library this opera thing because my library said that this one has Faust in it. So this is an opera. This has an opera version of Faust. I'm not sure which one. It's the BBC version, so this is the Great Opera Arias, and I'm not sure what Faust is in here. I'm gonna be watching it and seeing what I can find out. But I am excited to put this in. I do enjoy plays and musicals, but I have never really watched too many operas, so I'm excited to try that out. So I don't, like I said, know what Faust is in here, if it's like just a song, if it's a section, what it is, but I will be checking it out. The back doesn't say either. I'm trying to see, and it's just blank. So, well, not blank, but nothing but Faust. So I will be going in, trying to do some research, but aside from that, not really knowing much. The last thing I picked up was not for Faust, but I did see it as I was walking out of the library on one of the shelves, which I instantly grabbed because it has Agatha Christie in it, and it's The Science of Murder. So the Forensics of Agatha Christie. This one's by Carla Valentine. This one is a pretty big book. It's about 400 pages, but it has the forensics. I have my library receipt here still. So I think it's just the how it works. So in the chapters it says like what the scene of the crime would look like, forensics, like the fingerprints, trace evidence, forensic ballistics, like firearms, documents and handwriting. So how she used all that in her books. And I'm excited to read this and see how that would actually have worked in real life. So I am very excited that I got my hands on a copy of this. So I will be trying to read this one, hopefully just as like something different, something that's new and exciting, and not something that's stressful. Because yeah, I don't need that. But like I did, like as always, get my receipt because I like to see how much I've saved for the year. And up to this date, so this is July 27th, I have saved $3,796. So like $3,800, which I am like loving my library. I love using it, and I love seeing that number grow because I definitely enjoy using it as a resource, especially when I use the ebooks and the audiobooks, which I can't get that printout when I do those ones. But one final thing is I got my final puzzles. So let's do that. You know, make things happy. I also went shopping and got like some grocery stuff, but I also got chocolate because when you're in a mood, you're in a mood. I should have got my keys again. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I did this myself. Okay, I got this messily, but I did it. Okay, maybe not quite well as I thought. Okay, oh, and here is Dracula. Maybe I only got the 2 puzzles. I thought I got 3, but maybe I'll check my receipt. So this is the World of Dracula. So this is just gonna be so great. So this is another 1,000-piece puzzle. Ooh, this is a big like up and down. I'm so good at this. Vertical puzzle. So this is the actual puzzle piece size, but I'm excited with that. Like, you can see the different characters. Dracula was not my favorite book when I read it, but I am excited to reread it in the future. And I just love the idea of this puzzle. Although the dark blue is kind of gonna scare me, I gotta be honest. But with it only being 1,000 pieces, I am excited that this is another one of my literary puzzles. So like, as you can see, the characters. So here's Dracula. Here is Jonathan Parker and Mina. So just different characters. And I am excited to, you know, do this one too. So I will be adding it to my literary puzzle collection. And maybe one day I will do a whole tour of them because I'm starting to gather a few of them, which I'm excited about. But anyways, that's my bookish update for today. I didn't get much further. Actually, I do have information about Pride and Prejudice. So because of how I was just not able to sleep last night, I managed to listen to about the first 3 hours, I think, of Pride and Prejudice. So I have about 4.5 hours left of the audio with like the 1.8 speed that I'm at. So I'm gonna keep working on that. But first and foremost, I'm gonna try focusing on, I think I just want Narnia right now, which is sad because I really am enjoying My Friend Anna, but I think the pressure of finishing this by tomorrow is making me not want to pick it up. So I will probably just return it tomorrow and remember what chapter I'm on. I'll mark it down on my phone what chapter it is so I can go back to that chapter when I pick it up again, because I'm pretty good at remembering the details after the fact. So I might just go to Narnia, but honestly right now, I don't want to do any reading. I don't want to do anything bookish related. I just want to like sit down and binge TV. I have some shows that I like haven't caught up on yet, that have been waiting for me on the PVR, like American Ninja Warrior, one of my few sports shows that I watch. But I have been needing to catch up on that. So maybe one of those. But honestly, it's like after 10 and I just found out tomorrow's not gonna be a super fun day. So I'm probably gonna just not stress myself out, and we'll see if I read anything and if I don't. But I'm excited about the books I grabbed from the library, and some of them will be definitely going into August, as that is late August. But I am excited that they will be prioritized then. And I am excited to read my Agatha Christie book, hopefully coming up. I think that'll be a nice way to read Agatha Christie without having actual Agatha Christie. And this clip is longer than I thought, or longer than I wanted to. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. Hopefully the week will get better, but I will let you know what I'm reading. My plans are still Narnia and still Pride and Prejudice and Murder of Mr Wickham, but I'm gonna be definitely, I think, taking it easy because of I don't want to overwhelm myself and then push myself into more migraines because of stress and adding stress headaches on top of migraines, and that's just never a good situation. So I'm gonna allow myself a bit of a break, but I am excited to get going with those things. So anyways, I will chat with you next time, or hopefully tomorrow, I hope. Anyways, bye. So I just got home on Friday. I have not done too much reading yesterday, but I did do some reading today. So basically I decided I was not going to push myself and read the books I put on my TBR, but I have started this one, which was out from my library as an ebook. I still have it as a library book. I think I'm like this far in. I am 25% in, and I like flew through the first 20% while helping kids go to sleep. So I am really enjoying this. I'm going to keep going. This is like a historical romance set before World War I, and I am really enjoying it. So I'm going to keep going. It's about a governess and her wards, essentially like the child who she was helping, her much older brother. Like he's like, I think 7 years older than her, something like that. Anyways, the first book, which was called Somewhere in France, I really enjoyed. So I'm gonna keep reading this one. I'm really enjoying it. So I just want to say I've abandoned most, not Pride and Prejudice, but I've abandoned most, just in sake of what I want to read. I am going to keep reading certain things from the TBR, but this is what I'm wanting to read right now, and I'm going to embrace the mood. So I'm going to read After the War is Over. Hello, it is like 12:30 Friday night, so like Saturday morning now. But I wanted to pop in because I finally have done some reading, which is so incredible. So basically, after I left you, I just finished this whole book. I finished the whole thing. This was on my radar to read this month, but I hadn't like committed to it. So I finished this. Definitely a 4-star. I really enjoyed this. It follows a woman named Charlotte who is trying to help with like social work after the war, after World War I, and is like going also back and forth between her being in this time after World War I, but also previous to the war when she was a governess, but then also during the war a little bit, and her relationship with this man named Edward. Really interesting, really enjoyable. I really enjoyed this one. So 4 stars, like the first book, and there's a 3rd book in the series, so I am very excited to read this. It's very interesting. I don't typically read historical romance, but I've enjoyed this series. And then after that, I picked up The Voyage of the Dawn Treader in this. So I have gotten to, and then I put it down because I just wanted to like have the lights off for a bit. But I got to chapter 8. So I read the first 7 chapters of The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It was really cool. I love reading in this version where it has all these pictures. I'm trying to get the map for you where like they have all these really cool additions because of it. 1 second, it's coming. All right, so here it is. So like they have these maps coming through, especially as they're traveling. It's just really interesting to see the different illustrations all the way through. So I did read the first 7 chapters of that. Then after that, I was like, I feel after those 7 chapters, I was like, I want to read something else, but I don't know what, and I don't want to read anything that's on my TBR, like a quiet, like set for myself. So I went on my NetGalley account and saw that my my copy of Sunburst was going to be going off of the NetGalley app. This is by Susan May Warren. I literally started it and finished it tonight, and I have not done that for a while. So that's 2 books I started in the course of one day and finished them in one day. I'm so happy because that's not normal for this month, I think, or at least this last couple weeks. I've been feeling a little bit off of that, and I am just so happy with it. So I really enjoyed Sunburst, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to rate it because I literally just finished it. I think I might be giving it it's definitely a 4, maybe a 5. I think it might be a 5. I really enjoyed how it was just different. So it follows this woman named Noemi, which is, I have discovered more books in the last year and a half that have characters with the name Naomi, Noemi, literally in the last year and a half than I have ever in my life, which is just funny. Anyways, so this woman named Noemi, she is half Nigerian and half American, and at the very beginning of the book, she meets this man named Ranger. This is the 2nd book in the trilogy. I haven't read book 1 yet, but I will be after reading this. But Ranger, he is a SEAL, and basically that happens, and then 4 years after they meet, and then don't go anywhere relationship wise, you come across them, or come across Noemi in Nigeria, as she and a group of people that she was traveling with, including Ranger's brother Colt, are kidnapped by a group of terrorists. And when they are kidnapped, Noemi is really trying to survive. Her father was a SEAL also, so it's really interesting how she's coming at it. And also with this being her home country and all that, it's like our home of origin essentially. This book was interesting as most of it took place in Nigeria, and I really liked how it showed this kind of different suspense romantic element. But I also really enjoyed this kind of, I don't want to even say one of the tropes that I really enjoy was in it, because I feel like that's a kind of a spoiler. So really enjoyed this one. I think I might be giving it a 5 stars because it was just so good. And it's always amazing to me that I do not read enough Susan May Warren when I love all of her books that I've read. So yeah, I think I'm giving it a 5 star. I need to write my review because it was an ARC, but I think it came out July 7th, so it's really new, but I highly recommend it if you're interested in that kind of suspense thing. They are on the run from the terrorists for most of the book, so it's definitely a prominent factor in the book if that's something you're needing to be aware of. But it's definitely interesting as they have this tension from the past, and yet they are trying to survive and get away from these people who are possibly following them, and also in a very dangerous situation. I really think it's incredible, and I am excited for when the next book comes out because of how it's all done. Susan May Warren does a really good job at setting up her series, and I am really excited for the next one, which I think is called Sunset, but Sunburst, highly recommend. So I read Sunburst after the war is over, and the first 7 chapters of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader today. I'm feeling very accomplished myself. I'm feeling very tired though, but I might just put on Pride and Prejudice as an audio right now, and then go to sleep. So, anyways, I said it's 12:30. I definitely have to be up reasonable tomorrow because of the Count of Monte Cristo live stream, which is exciting. So I need to do that, but I can't sleep in too late because of that also. So I will be needing to wake up at a reasonable hour. So I need to think of that now, but I am very happy with that. I think I must have read, because this copy here is like 350 pages, and then Sunburst is 350 pages, so that's 700 pages, and then I probably read like, I don't know, 75 pages worth of Voyage of the Dawn Treader, so like 775 pages today. 775 pages today. And that's a lot, but I really loved what I was reading, and I'm glad that none of them were sat on my TBR. Like, I was just in the mood for what I wanted to read, and I'm so thankful one of them was an arc too. I have more arcs to read, but that was one I was really just, I don't know, in the mood for fast action, really happy, not happy. This was happy. Also dealing with a lot of like social stuff, but really fast action and a great trope that I love. And if you know a lot of the tropes I like and you like the same ones, you'd probably like this one too, because I really like that. But I don't want to tell you in case it spoils you. So yeah, enjoyable. So I will spoil it now though. I'll just click a little spoiler thing here. It's the fake dating trope, or like fake marriage trope, because they have to get married at a certain point. Noemi and I was gonna say Ranger. I'm needing to go to sleep. Anyways, they have to get married to cover up what they're doing. So that is the trope that I thought was so well done, and I just loved seeing that randomly in there. Okay, no more spoilers, time to go to bed. But hopefully good reading tomorrow after the live show. I do need to film tomorrow. My TBR Clue, I need to film that. So hopefully that will be nice to me. I already have a stack of like 7 books I need to read. And I'm like, hopefully those will fit in. But anyways, yeah. So I'm excited for tomorrow, especially now that I'm in a good reading mood and good reading mojo. So I'm going to go to bed. Good night. Good morning. It is Saturday, and we are about to go live in about 40 minutes, but of course I'm on my computer early. I have these earbuds in today, hoping I can get away with it because the AC I'm not turning off. It's like 40 degrees again. I'm not turning it off. Maybe it's like 37 right now, but I'm not going to. So hopefully this will help dull or turn out all those noise. I'm gonna try it. But basically, yeah, today's gonna be a bit more, I don't know, interesting maybe. So Christy can't come today, so I've invited my cousin Sarah, who has read the Count of Monte Cristo, to join us. So she'll be hopping on and being a guest host, or a guest discusser, maybe, if you want to call her that, for our live show today. So we're doing that. And then, yeah, I have not done any reading since last night. I put on the Pride and Prejudice, which we are at Rosings now, and that's fun because we're about to enter Mr. Darcy. He probably entered while I was asleep because I put on for 45 minutes. But I will go back and listen to that section because it's such a good section. So anyways, yeah, that's where I'm at. I am very tired because I stayed up too late, and I am probably gonna have a nap today, but I do need to film some things, and then hopefully, yeah, it'll be good. I didn't do a mid-month wrap-up this year, or this month, and that's gonna be a bit problematic, I think, when I get to the end of the month to do all of the books. Although I vlogged, so I'm not too concerned. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to read some of Voyage of the Dawn Treader while I wait, and then hopefully it will be like able to get through a chunk while I wait for my computer to not have a temper tantrum, because we don't like that. My computer's basically like a giant 2-year-old. Not giant, like, but a 2-year-old that does not want to work when you want it to work. So anyways, I'm gonna read Voyage while I do this. Actually, I'll show you. So here we are, set up like this, but I also have here my Agatha Christie puzzle and my brush that I just used to brush my hair. But I have started this. I've just done the border, which is not quite perfect. These pieces aren't super unique, so they don't all like fit together like a glove. So I'm not sure where these ones go, but I have a giant bag, which I'm like, I'd love to do, to be honest, but I just can't around the computer. So I'll just be reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So that's my plan. But anyways, yeah, we'll hopefully have a good 30 minutes and then see you on the live stream if you are watching us and joining us. So we are done the live show. That was really fun to talk about it, to discuss it all, and it was really great to have Sarah and Janelle, well, Sarah join us, and Sarah and Janelle and I to just, I don't know, we talked for almost an hour straight, and it was just great, without having any comments that we really talked about. So it was really great. Really enjoyed it. We didn't have many people come for the live show, but that's okay. It was good. So we are, well, not we. I now need to film TBR Clue today, which I need to do soon. I probably should do like right now, which I don't feel like doing, but that's okay. So I need to do that, and then I can be ready to edit that and put that up for tomorrow morning. Aside from that, I just would like to finish Voyage of the Dawn Treader today, I think, and then listen to Pride and Prejudice, and I have to get some laundry done and some other little things, but not too much. And I am just happy that like it's not going to be a crazy weekend because it is a stat. So Monday morning, I do not have to go to work, and I am excited that this isn't like I got 2 long weekends in a row. So I'm going to hopefully finish off this weekend with like a good amount of reading, and hopefully I can finish off Pride and Prejudice for this like last week of Jane Austen July. That was kind of my hope. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to aim for it and do my best. But yes, hopefully film TBR Clue first. So it is like 7:30 at night now, and I'm checking in finally. I did film TBR Clue, which was surprisingly nice to me. So you'll have to check that out. And I, after that, I actually went to the library, picked up a few holes, which I'll show you in a second. And then I helped my grandma out for a little bit with some computer stuff. And then I went book shopping. Basically, I felt like I needed some retail therapy after the entirety of the last week. So I have purchased some things, and so let's just quickly go through it. But first, I did also want to quickly show you that my other puzzle came. So literally all of the things this week. So I've already got most of the tape undone because it was very well prepped. But it's the World of Charles Dickens. That's what there we go. That's what I was waiting on. I knew I was waiting on one of them, and the World of Charles Dickens is the one. So this is what it looks like on the back. Yeah, it looks like it has a bunch of different characters. So, like there's Miss Havisham. Yeah, there's just different ones. I don't know them all. Like Tiny Tim is over here. I have not read all of Dickens' work, but it's exciting. So I now have the World of Charles Dickens as well. So my other puzzle arrived, which is exciting. Anyways, let's get into the little book haul of book / library things which I bought. The first book that I got from the library was this giant graphic novel thing. It's called Graphic Canon. And basically I think it's like graphic I don't know, classics throughout literature. I think Mr. Darcy's in here. It said something about that lines. But I don't know. All I know is that Picture of Dorian Gray is in here, and I was getting it for Fostathon. So I'll be checking out Picture of Dorian Gray in this, as this is like the last one of it in here, in this edition. This is volume 2 of I don't know how many, but that's quite huge, and I might check out more of those if that's something I would be really interested in. Anyways, I just put them all in a big bag, so I don't know what I purchased is coming out first or not. One thing I did purchase was A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting by Sophie Irwin. This one, I saw the title, I was like, that looks like a Regency book, and it is. And even at the very beginning, it has a quote from Pride and Prejudice. So it's like, that's so Jane Austen-y for the like one of the last days of Jane Austen of July. So this one is about a woman who, named Kitty, needs to find someone with a fortune because they have massive debts. She only has 12 weeks to save herself, it says, her and her sisters. And then she meets this man named Lord Radcliffe, who sees her as a fortune hunter, which she is. And then he's trying to stop her at all costs. But then their parrying takes a completely different turn, it says. So that's this one. Sounds really fun. And this is a debut novel, so I'm hoping it'll be really fantastic, but it just sounds like a really interesting look at Regency. I might pick it up and read it tomorrow, even like the last day of Jane Austen, July. But I have another book that has piqued my interest more that I found on the shelves, and we will get there maybe right away. Yes, because it's the right top. This one is Mr. Malcolm's List. Now, I heard about this one as a movie first, so I'm excited. This one's called by Suzanne Allen. This one's about a man, if I'm understanding right, because I heard about the movie, not this one, and it's now been turned into a major motion picture. It's about a man who has like the impossible ideal woman that he's going for. She has to complete all of this checklist, and no one ever will because it's impossible. So one of these women, and on the back it says Selena is a vicar's daughter, and her friend invites her to town, and she's like so excited, but then she realizes it's because she will be able to fake the list, I think, and like fool Mr. Malcolm and make him think that she's the ideal woman. And when she realizes, at least it says on the back, when she realizes what he is doing, she's gonna make sure that he has to meet a standard himself. So I'm excited. This one just sounds so good as a movie, and I'm just like, this one just sounds so great. It is really short. It's like 250 pages, and I just really want to read it right now. So I think I might just pick it up. Maybe not like tonight, but I think I maybe will. It's just like, this is the one I want to read first. So there's that one. Then I also picked up from Value Village, funnily enough, Knives Out. I got this for $3, $4. Like, I own a DVD player because these things are cheap and they will not go away yet. So yeah, Knives Out, which is such a great, funny movie. I love it. And it's still in its like wrapper and everything, so I know it hasn't been touched. So that's good. I also picked up from the library, this is a library pickup, The Picture of Dorian Gray. So this is a very old version. This one is from what year? I can't tell. It says 2008 packaging, but it looks so old. I don't know what year this is from. I'm excited to watch The Picture of Dorian Gray though. Never have, and I'm excited to do it for Fostathon. I found a gem at Value Village as well, which was the entirety of the Little House on the Prairie set. And this is like from 1959, I believe this was published all in. So like this is the incomplete works. Yeah, I was just like, this is wonderful. I have a problem with like buying Little House on the Prairie from like the publisher because of who the money goes to. But I've been looking for more books from the series, and I was shocked to find all of them for 15 bucks. All 9 of them. So they're all in these really old edition, but I'm like happy about that. Like you can see the box set. Yeah, so I'm happy, and I will be very glad to add this to my collection now that I own all of the books from the original like series. Next in my bag is a library book that I heard about from Chris. I will link their channel down below. I think I already talked about them this week as I picked up library books. I don't remember, my brain's wonky. But I heard them talking about Anne of West Philly. This one is by Ivy Noel Weir. This is a graphic novel about, or based on, Anne of Green Gables. And so this sounds really exciting and really interesting. And the author of this also did a Secret Garden retelling, which is on its way to me as well, because I love graphic novels of like modern or of classics. And I think this is just gonna be a fun way to ingest this story. So I'm gonna be reading this one. I'm sure really fast. Then I purchased another thing that I purchased because I went to like 3 different bookstores because I needed retail therapy today. I picked up this one, which is called The World's Worst Criminals, an A to Z of Evil and Men and Women. So it's something I haven't read, the one I own that's like this about the mafia, but they look very similar. And so I think they're like in the same edition or something. So that's why it caught my eye, and I'm a good true crime junkie. So I grabbed that one. I also picked up a book. I bought this one. This is called Migraine. Identify your triggers, break your dependence on medication, and take back your life. I don't know how applicable this book will be, how helpful it will be, but I figured why not try it. This one is by Sharon Murray. So yeah, I will give it a try and read, because migraines clearly are part of my life. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, or for any length of time, because I'm not shy about it. I have daily chronic migraines. I have one every single day, and this might be something that I can at least learn something from. So that'd be wonderful. I also managed to pick up a bunch of little Agatha Christie's. Basically because I was in this like mood, I was like, fine, I'm gonna buy whatever I want. And so I went and looked at all of the books I needed to buy on my to buy Agatha Christie list that I've collected or put on Goodreads. And I have purchased many of them that I could. I like to purchase them secondhand though, because I think it's just more fun. So one of them I picked up was Nemesis. So I have this in a bind up, and I'm looking to own this kind, so I'm glad I now do. I also picked up a Caribbean mystery. So these are both Miss Marples. I picked up Remembered Death, which is also known as Sparkling Cyanide, and I don't think I own this one. But if I do, it was fine because I was just excited about the cover. I don't also own it under that title. I also know I don't own Murder on the Links, because this is not one of my favorite Agatha Christie's, but because I do want to own all of her books one day, this is one I picked up as well. And then I did pick up a Mary Roberts Reinhardt book because they had them, and I'm always looking around for more. I need to read more of her books, even though I just keep picking them up. I eventually will own many of her books in paperback, but I picked up The State versus Eleanor Norton. Now this one, the title caught my eye because it sounds like it's a trial courtroom case, and this one sounds really, I love those ones, like the legal aspect. And so this one sounds really interesting. The back doesn't say anything about it, except for the fact that she was married to, forced to marry a man that she could never love by her ambitious mother. And she refuses to admit that anything was wrong. So something's gonna go on, and she's gonna end up at court. And that's something I just thought was really gonna be an interesting look at the court trials, because I really like courtroom cases. So I picked up these little gems to add to my old books that I'm collecting. So I think that was it that I purchased, yep, or got from the library. I only got 3, but then I did a bit of a book spree. And I also ordered several books online because, yeah, definitely was in a mood to, I don't know, have retail therapy. I'm normally not that way. I very rarely order books and like go out and purchase books. I think this is the first time I've done that in all of July. And so this is not bad, but I felt like it's been really hard. And I'm not gonna get into it, but like the emotional stress can play a really big role on my migraines. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on out there. So anyways, the emotional stress at work, it plays a really big part on my migraines. And then I don't want to read, and then I don't want to do anything. And so I figured that a way to relieve stress, which I don't normally do, was to buy books. And so I also decided to order some books I could not find in store, but I've been wanting to buy for a while. So one of them was Soul Lanterns. I'll put the picture here. I really, really loved it, and I really wanted to own a copy, and I definitely want to support the author and the publisher because this is a fantastic book, historical fiction about the atomic bomb, and I thoroughly loved it. It's a middle grade, fantastic. And then I bought the entirety of the Eve Ronan series by Lee Goldberg because I've been really wanting to have that series, but I just haven't been able to see it in store, so I just bit the bullet and ordered it online, which wasn't a big deal. So I did that, and I am excited to get those whenever they come in. So yeah, those are the big books I did for today. And now I am going to go and edit TBR Clue. My brain is thoroughly screaming at me. I am so tired. I never took a nap today, which apparently when I say I want a nap as an adult, like I just don't anymore. When I'm too busy. I guess being an adult is never easy when you have commitments or when you decide to do 3 hours worth of book shopping. I should have planned that earlier, but that was still a nice calming thing for me anyways. Whatever. So my head is screaming at me, but I am going to do TBR Clue. Hopefully that won't take too long. And then I will be, I don't know, maybe watching some TV, maybe reading Mr. Malcolm's List, because that sounds so good. But honestly, I think I'm just gonna be taking it easy tonight because I also have a library right now, and I just realized it, but I have the Golden Girls season 1 out, so I might just put that on too, because this is a really great way for me to just conk out. But I think that this will be something I am very interested in putting on for tonight. So yeah, all good things, but all things that I am hoping for a good evening. And tomorrow I'm on call for nursery. I put myself in there, and so I need to be at least in some fighting stance in case I need to be in there with all the babies. And then I can have a good Sunday and a good Monday because it's BC day. I'm excited for that. And then hopefully a good work week. But I'm not going to think about that now because that's going to be stressful. Anyways, I'm going to sign off now and get back to everything else. But I just wanted to do a little book haul here of what I found today and what my plans will be for the rest of the night. So catch you later. Good morning. It is Sunday. I'm very tired. I could not sleep because I was overtired. So today I think I have to prioritize taking a nap so I can hopefully get back on my normal sleep schedule, which normally I'd say no nap, but apparently that's what I need to do because nothing else is working to get more than 4.5 hours or 6 hours of sleep. So anyways, I'm headed off to church in a little 5-10 minutes, but I did want to pop in and say I finished Pride and Prejudice last night while I could not sleep. Great as always. Love Rosamund Pike as she narrates everything. Love the audiobook. Just brilliant as always. So 5 stars for Pride and Prejudice. Definitely interested to talk about it at a book club on Wednesday because that's the book that they've picked. I didn't pick it, even though I love that it was the decision. However, I'm kind of nervous because we have a lot of, the way to say it delicately is that we are not a classics loving group. I love classics. None of them really do. So, I'm wondering how it's going to go because literally every classic we've ever read as a group has been a fail, or I've really loved it, but not many people have. So I'm interested and kind of expecting the worst, essentially. So I'm just, so that's going to be my Wednesday night, but I'm happy to reread Pride and Prejudice for any reason. But yes, so I finished that. And I am going to try to finish The Murder of Mr Wickham today. I would really like to finish that off today. And then I also really would like to finish off Rainbow Valley before the end of July. So those are my 2 priorities, but I do really need to prioritize a nap over those ones. So I'm going to go to church, and then after I get home, I'm going to see if I'm feeling tired right away or get stuff done and then take a nap or whatever else. But I'm going to have to take a nap because apparently I can't sleep during the night until 4 o'clock in the morning. So yes, I will be doing that today. But I hopefully will be able to do some of those finishings off of books I've started or books I'm in the middle of. I might be able to read Mr. Malcolm's List. That sounds really interesting to me. But yeah, I'm not sure. And then I'm gonna be having my stat tomorrow, which will be wonderful. So anyways, I'm gonna be going off to church. I just gotta finish getting my hair organized and then we'll be going off. But yeah, it should be good. Although really hot out there. So we're meeting outside in a parking lot for the summer and it's hot. It's like, I don't know, what is it, 36 today or something is the predicted? It's not 36 right now, but it's gonna get up that high. So hopefully it's not gonna be that high while we're sitting outside. So anyways, I will check in later. I also want to quickly update because I forgot that I've been listening to Jeremiah, which is after Isaiah in the Bible reading, and I've been doing a pretty good job at steadily reading that. So I think I'm in chapter 20 now because I listen to it as I fall asleep and it goes on after I fall asleep, but I definitely remember getting to chapter 19. So I think I'll be starting in chapter 20, continuing on, but I wanted to just make note of that since I haven't mentioned it yet. And I did finish Isaiah last week or on Sunday, so that's also part of my whole reading for the week. So I will be doing an update of everything I read though later, but just want to mention Jeremiah before I forget. Hi, so it is August 1st and I guess have a little bit of an update for you. So yesterday I really just had to recover from, I don't know, like a week of not sleeping well. So I had like a 2.5 hour nap in the afternoon or just like resting my eyes. And then I went to bed pretty early. But I did not read much because I was just so, my eyes just hurt so much. But I have read some stuff. So since yesterday I read the entirety, the last section of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I never got to the Silver Chair, which is very disappointing for me, but I will do it. I'll try to get to it today. I'm feeling a lot better. My eyes don't hurt and I'm so thankful for that. But I did read The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which has all of these great illustrations in it. Really loved it all, and I am like, I mean, it's always a 4-star. I gave it 5-star originally, I realized when I updated my Goodreads. But for me, it's just a little too disconnected, each chapter from chapter, which is okay. That's the style, but it's just not my style. So it's a 4-star from me. But I really enjoyed this whole book, I should say. So yeah, there's just so many things that I loved about this. I'm trying to find one of the pictures that I truly loved. This is it here. So here's the picture at the last table of one of the islands they go to, and Reepicheep and his bravery. So just such a fascinating artwork in here, honestly. I really loved it. Anyways, so yes, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is book 3 in this publication order. I don't know what it is in like chronological order, because I don't put my books in chronological order. It's number 5 in chronological order, but book 3 in publication. I really enjoyed rereading it, so yay for that. And then also yesterday, I finished Pride and Prejudice, well, like after midnight on Sunday. So Pride and Prejudice I finished as well. And that was it for my most recent books. So let's go over everything that I had read since last Sunday. So this isn't a very long list, but that's great. I am okay at that. So the first thing I finished was Isaiah. I was struggling, I think, to transition from poetry and history books to prophecy in the Bible. And now that I've transitioned, I am happy with that. I'm really liking Jeremiah, actually. I mean, Isaiah is wonderful, but I like the writing style of Jeremiah a lot more, because it's just so, it's much more like a story as opposed to just hearing the words. But that's just me. But I really, yeah, really enjoyed it, Isaiah. Great to reread for the first time in a very long time. I also was listening to The Vikings, which is by Kenneth Harrell. It's a great courses one, and I DNF'd it at about 40%. So I kept listening to it while camping because I didn't have anything else. And aside from Pride and Prejudice, and I was kind of holding off on that until after getting home if I was trying to, essentially. But the thing is that the Vikings, he'd spend a good 3 to 5 minutes, maybe not 5 minutes, maybe that's dramatic, but like at least 3 minutes at the beginning of each 30-minute section talking about what we were going to talk about. And it's like, now we only have 26 minutes or whatever it is to actually learn. And then that stuff was just, I was tuning out. It was too much needless detail or not enough. And I just was like, this is not working for me. So I DNF'd it, which I'm happy with, because that did leave the Audible Plus membership when it was like on the 31st. So that was yesterday. But I was like, I'm not going to push myself to just read about the Vikings, and I could probably find something else I'd enjoy more. So there's that one. Then I read this one, which is After the War is Over. I really enjoyed this one. It was like told in dual timeline. So this one follows a woman, let me try and figure out her name again, Charlotte. So it follows Charlotte, and she is a governess to the woman in the first book, whose name is Lily. The first book is called Somewhere in France, and that one is about a woman named Lily, who is an ambulance driver, and a man who she has very strong feelings for, who is a doctor on the front. So that's all taking place during World War I. This book is taking place before World War I and after World War I. So this one is when Edward, who is Lily's brother, who's like 7 years older than her, is at Oxford, or was it Cambridge? Doesn't matter. Anyways, he puts out an ad because he needs a governess for his sister who will actually help her learn, instead of just being like one of those society norms, maybe is the best way to say it, in a kind of way, compared to what his sisters were described as, his other sisters. So Charlotte answers the ad because she's not able to find work, and obviously during the time period they were not allowed to get their diplomas, even though she was at the college too. So she applies for it, she becomes a governess, and she and Edward have a very interesting relationship, as she is not, like, she's very, not lowly, she has a good amount of education, and she's become a governess, so now she's kind of gone down, but she's really she loves her work. But Edward is like an heir to a lord, or an earl, so he is very high up in class, and so it's a very interesting story. And I really enjoyed what I saw of them in book 1. And yeah, it's such a great book. This one talks a lot about the mental health too of World War I and shell shock, which is now PTSD. It talks a lot about that, as Charlotte worked with men during World War I who had shell shock. And she recognizes some of those same traits in Edward, and she tries to help him. There's a lot of this book dedicated to the mental health, and I think it was really wonderful to see. Yeah, really enjoyable. And this is a book about a woman who's over 30, as Charlotte is 33. So if you're looking for a book that's like a romance book, or if you have a prompt or anything like that for a book with women or main characters over 30, this is a great book for that, as they're both over 30, and I really enjoyed it. So I read that one, and I gave it 5 stars, I think. The first one I gave 4 stars because it had sex scenes, which I don't really read. But this one, it didn't have that in that way. So I was able to read everything, and I really enjoyed it. So I read that, and then I read an arc which was Starburst by Susan May Warren. That one is the sequel in the Sky King Ranch series, which I've not read the first book of, but Sunburst was fantastic. I really enjoyed that one. I'm sure I talked about it and raved about it. I'm remembering that I did. But yeah, it takes place a lot in Nigeria, so I thought it was interesting to see Susan May Warren talk about a different country, but also have the high intense action, the mystery element, but also having the relationship develop, because she writes some romantic suspense, and it's just so good. And they're Christian romantic suspense, in case you're interested. So then I also, like I said, read Voyage. I read Pride and Prejudice, which got 5 stars again. That one was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I definitely needed a refresher, even though I read it like every year. I realized on Goodreads, because I track what year I read books in. I have a shelf for each year, and I read it every year for like the last 3 years, which is very interesting. But my book club is discussing it in a couple days, so I wanted to be fresh in my mind, even if we all don't have the biggest discussion about it, as I have a feeling we're not going to be all discussing the book in depth. I don't know. We don't have a lot of classic lovers, like I said before. So that was all I read this week, which was 6 books, including the DNF. But I listened to a good 8 hours of it, obviously sped up at 8 hours of it before I DNF'd it. So I feel like that counts. So I'm just, yeah. I am feeling better today, and I'm excited for August TBR Clue, which I filmed on Saturday and put up yesterday in the time lapse of my brain on Sunday. Was very kind. So I have a lot of fun books to read, and I'm excited for the prompts I have and for the, I don't know, whatever's coming up, I guess. I also have Fostathon, which is coming up at the end of the month, and I think because I do want to do an arc vlog because I have so many upcoming October arcs that I will be reading, I think, arcs in the week of the 7th to the 14th. I'm just going to quickly check that date because it's going to be right before Fostathon. So yeah, 7th to the 13th, I will be reading arcs, and I hope that I can love them like I normally do. I try to pick the arcs that I want to or I think I will love. So I have high expectations for these arcs. Please let me know down below though if you'd like me to read anything in particular for those arcs. I have some historical nonfiction, some society nonfiction in a way, I guess you would call it. I have mysteries. I have, what else do I have? I have I have a children's book or 2, which I need to read eventually. So I just have a bunch of things. I have a Christmas mystery that I could read as well. So yeah, let me know what you'd like me to see, or what, goodness, I did this yesterday or Saturday when filming. Let me know what you would like to see in that vlog. If you have any interest in certain kinds of books, I can see what I have and pull from that. But it was not a bad month. I think I read 18 books. Let me just quickly check that. I actually read 19 books, which I didn't realize. I think I counted 18 before Voyage, but I read a total of 5,000 pages in July, which is a lot because normally July is my slump month, and I think I'm glad, one, that I only was reading for a good chunk of the second half what I wanted to read, but also that I listened to a bunch of Jane Austen books instead of trying to read them physically. So there's always that, because that definitely helps. And I definitely upped my numbers a lot. So it was just interesting to read 4 Jane Austen books in 1 month. I haven't done a mid-month wrap up in July because I was vlogging. So I think I'll just do an end of the month. These are the books I read, and these are the weeks to quickly check them out. And if you are interested, I think I'm gonna do one of those videos. But anyways, yeah, it's been a great reading month of July. I'm excited for August. I'll be vlogging Fostathon at least the first week and see how much I can get read in the first week, because I do read really fast. I hope that I can get through all the books I have acquired for that time, but we'll see. I hope I can. And then I also have, like I said, my ARC vlog coming up. And then I know Bookopoly or Bookopolython is normally in September, so I'm gonna be a little hesitant and see what that looks like because I don't want to stress out, because life has been stressed, but I'm feeling good today, and so I'm gonna try getting into the Silver Chair so I can get that one knocked off my list of what I need to read, because it's not on my August TBR, as I thought I would finish it July. And then I also would like to just binge read or mood read through the stack that the prompts gave me, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble and all of those things. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please like and subscribe. You can always leave a comment down below about what you read in July, if you had a good reading month, or if you normally slump like I do at least. I'm glad I didn't this month, because that would have been a very sad thing. But I am very thankful I did not slump. So let me know what your reading was like in July, and I will hopefully see you next time for my wrap up. I think it's gonna be my wrap up next. Anyways, bye for now.